Hello, and welcome back to Second Act Sobriety. I'm Dr. Donald Crowe, 40 years in emergency medicine and 28 years sober. And here's my confession. For far too long, I avoided calling addiction what it was, both in some of my patients and in myself. I told myself they didn't want to hear it, or that I didn't have enough information. I still wonder how many lives, maybe even my own, I could have changed earlier if I'd just recognized the truth sooner. If you're starting to suspect that your drinking isn't normal anymore, if alcohol might be taking more than it gives, this video is for you. I'm going to lay out 6 quiet but universal warning signs I wish I had seen earlier. Seeing them now can spare you years of regret and open the door to a life that actually fits you. Before we dive in, please subscribe, like, and comment the word READY if you're here to get honest. It helps this reach people who need it. Whether it's called addiction, alcoholism, alcohol use disorder, or my term, which is chemically mediated disinhibition syndrome, the fact remains this is a medical condition. And like any medical condition, it shows up with signs and symptoms. And the earliest, most reliable signs aren't found in blood tests or x-rays. They're found in your relationships. Today I'm going to discuss 6 changes in relationships that may indicate a problem. We're going to walk through each one. If any of these sound uncomfortably familiar, that's not a character flaw. It's data. Use it. The first relationship to change is that with family. And it starts small. Secrets about how much and how often. Not a dramatic turn, more like erosion. Half-truths, omissions, little cover-ups. Then it crosses a line, choosing intoxication over connection. You miss a school play. You're emotionally absent at a ball game. You snap at someone who deserves gentleness. At first, there's shame, and then repetition dulls it, and the shame fades. The distance grows. That's the tell. Ask yourself these questions. Have you started hiding how much you drink? Do you prefer being buzzed to being present with your family? Has regret faded into routine? If you nodded yes, that's a warning light, not a moral verdict. Don't fight the dashboard, read it. Another relationship that changes is friends. My early friendships were built on shared activities. We played, competed, talked. Over time, the center of gravity shifted. We didn't go hear the music. We got drunk and listened to music. Tennis plans derailed because I brought a 6-pack to warm-ups. Then another shift. The faces changed. Old friends who lifted me up got swapped out for drinking buddies. People organized around intoxication. That cohort pulls you down and calls it fun. Ask yourself, are most of my plans with friends built around alcohol? Have activity friends been replaced by drinking buddies? Do you avoid the friend who'd tell you the truth? If your circle defends your drinking harder than it defends you, then you don't have a circle. You've got camouflage. The third relationship change that is a warning sign is that with your checkbook. When my career took off, so did my rationalizations. I told myself, if it's good wine, then I can't be an alcoholic. I'm a connoisseur. My average bottle of wine was $20. By my late 30s, I'd buy 2 just in case. At dinner, a $60 or $100 bottle felt special, not habitual. If I'd simply invested that money in a 7.5% interest-bearing account, do the numbers. I could have retired years ago. When I did finally run the numbers, the cost was staggering. And not just in dollars, but in time, energy, and options. Ask yourself, have you ever totaled the amount of money you've spent on alcohol? Do you use price or quality to deny that there could be a problem? What dreams needed to be postponed because you bought just one more bottle? Money can be like an x-ray. If you won't study it carefully because you're afraid of what it will show you, then you probably already suspect that there's a problem. The next relationship change that can be a warning sign is your relationship with your medicine cabinet. In my first 3 decades of life, I can count on one hand the number of times I used medication for any reason. Then my 30s hit, along with headaches, abdominal pain, anxiety, sleep issues. I started relying on stronger medications to feel normal. I vaguely suspected the drinking, but it was easier to blame stress or age. If you find yourself stockpiling medications for the problems alcohol likely causes, that's a loop. That medicine can become one more link in the chain that keeps you trapped. Ask yourself, are you chasing new aches and mysterious symptoms? Do you need medications to undo last night's activities? Do you explain away patterns you'd call out in someone else? Your body is not your enemy. It's the whistleblower. The next relationship to discuss is with your trash bin. I used to volunteer to take out the trash so that I could drop in the last few empties, tie the bag, and walk it out gently so that there'd be nothing clinking. I was very careful to hide all of the empties from the neighbors or other prying eyes. That tiny ritual carried a ton of shame. Here, the question to ask yourself is simple. Do you hide the evidence from others or yourself? And the final relationship to change is perhaps the most important, and that's with your mirror. If you catch your reflection and wonder who it is that's looking back at you, perhaps you recognize the face, but it's only vaguely familiar, and it doesn't match who you think you are. Here you must ask yourself, do you feel misaligned with the person you're meant to be? If you don't like what the mirror shows, don't smash the mirror. Change the picture. When my turning point finally came, it wasn't noble. It was a multi-level catastrophe that forced abstinence upon me. With support, I turned that window of opportunity into momentum for change. And those relationships that had become broken, that I now see as warning signs, these could be repaired. And the life I wanted, it was buildable with new tools. Here's the pattern I've seen in thousands of stories. Almost everyone regrets not acting sooner. I've never met anyone with sustained sobriety who wished they waited longer to quit. So if your life has taken an unsatisfactory turn, ask yourself, have your relationships changed with your family, friends, checkbook, trash bin? Are you minimizing, rationalizing, or lying to yourself about it? If you've looked yourself in the mirror, what answers do you see? If any of this resonates with you, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're waking up. And a life ahead of you without intoxicants is a possibility. And it's a learnable skill. I wish it was so easy as to offer just a few quick fix ideas. But it's a process, and it starts with the decision to change. I urge you to do 3 things now. Subscribe to this channel and ring the bell. This channel is a practical resource. Come with the word ready, so I know that you're here and I can point you to the next steps. Like the video so it reaches folks who it might help. I'm Dr. Donald Crowe. Remember, giving up drinking doesn't mean giving up anything real. It means opening the door to the life you actually deserve. Check out these other videos, and I'll see you in the next one.